So by the time that we get to the 11th and the 12th stanza, we have here um, the persona telling us that to praise the sun is to praise your own eyes. So it talks about, again, the propensity of man, of human beings, to always look for tangible proof before believing that something intangible exists. It's kind of like saying, okay, so um, the sun warms me up. I can feel it, but I still have to see the sun in order to believe that the sun exists, even though I can perfectly feel that I'm being warmed up by the sun. So then you see the sun. Oh, yeah, the sun's there. I'm warm. So then, yes, the sun exists. But you can't do that. If you're going to say that you believe in God, you can't believe in God that way by saying, all right, in order to believe in God, I have to first see him with my own eyes. Or like we give tests, to see whether he is answering our prayers or is listening to our prayers. Like I think I had a friend who prayed to God and said, I'm not sure if I remember this correctly, but I think he said, well, God, if you believe that there's someone out there, that there's a man out there for me, please send me a sign. Send me 3 white petals from a rose as a sign that you're listening to my prayers. So, yeah, we can't do that, right? Because as what has been said before in the poem, you know, we can't pin everything down about God. There are certain things that are just beyond our reach when it comes to understanding God, all right? And we don't have to fully understand everything in order to confirm to ourselves that we believe in something that exists, all right? Because he says for this one, for this stanza, instead of proving God's existence, we are just proving something else. We're just proving that, hey, our eyes work, so that's fine. In the same manner that if you turn this around and made it about love, we also do that with our loved ones. Like they tell us, I love you. We give them a test. We go, yeah, really? You have to, in order to prove that you love me, you have to do my homework. You have to carry 2 pails of water from the first floor up to the second floor in order to prove to me that you love me. All right, and then they do that. But even if they do end up doing that, we weren't able to prove that they love us. What were we able to prove? We were able to prove that they can do their homework and your homework, or that they can carry 2 pails of water from the first to the 6th floor. It has nothing to do with how much they love you or how true their love is for you. Right? So we can't keep testing our faith that way by asking for proof, right? In the same manner that, so we go to the next line, praise the ocean, what we say, a little ship. So what does the ocean do, right? Going back to the title, Buoyancy, if you want to prove that the ocean exists and buoyancy exists, the best way really is to float on water like you would with a ship, because that should be enough for you to believe that God exists, because a ship floats on water, therefore the ocean exists. The ship isn't sinking, it's not doing anything else but to float. So just the very fact that you exist should be enough proof for you that God exists. So then what's the best way to feel or prove that buoyancy exists? To just float. It's kind of as simple as that, So how can you tell that God exists? You just let yourself feel it. I believe in God. I feel that God exists. And I'm just letting it be as simple as that. There doesn't have to be there doesn't have to be an entire thesis to prove it. There doesn't have to be an entire tradition backing it and research and relics to prove that God exists. I don't need that. I just believe in God, and that's fine. Just the fact that I exist is enough for me to believe that God exists. Right? So it doesn't seem crazy when you talk about it in terms of faith, but then when this becomes into a discussion about love, then it does sound crazy, because when someone asks you, how can you tell that your boyfriend loves you? Oh, because I can feel it. I know he loves me. Yeah, that sounds crazy, because, our first instinct is, yeah, well, prove it. Because when you don't have anything, it's not real then. Or even if it's not posted in social media, it's not true. It didn't happen. Or if you don't define the relationship, it's not a relationship. So we always shy away from relationships that have no label. So we have to have a label. All right. So, and that's where this thing is crazy and terrifying, because it's saying, in the same manner that, okay, you believe in God, you're a ship, and he's the ocean, and the currents of the ocean will take the ship to where it's supposed to go. In the same manner that God is going to take you where your life is supposed to go according to his plan. That's fine. But when you apply that to an actual relationship with a human being, like, I can't even do that, especially for women my age when they're late to go. Yeah, I'm fine with this no label relationship. I'm not gonna make plans for my future and your future. If we're gonna be, I don't care. Let's just ride this boat and let it go where it's supposed to go. And I have full trust in you that this thing will go right where it's supposed to go. I don't have time for that, because I've got plans. You've got plans. These are my feelings. What are your feelings? Let's see if they match. If they don't, next. I mean, yeah. But what is this asking? What is this asking for? To say with such certainty that this person loves me, and they don't even have to say anything. They don't even have to do anything. They don't even have to give me anything. But I can feel that they love me. So they do love me. To have that kind of certainty without anything shaking you from that certainty, that is absolutely amazing to have, right? And to have it be true, that's amazing. To be as sure of someone's love as you are of your faith in God, because those two are meant to be equal, then that's an absolutely wonderful and lucky existence, to have those two things be of the same fervor, same certainty, right? So yeah, so it's absolutely wonderful if you have those things. Is what Rumi is saying. So now, by the time that we get here to these last two stanzas, he says, all right, now that you know those things about faith, now that you know those things about love, don't grieve. Why should we grieve that we have been sleeping? It doesn't matter how long we've been unconscious. We're groggy, but let the guilt go. Feel the motions of the tenderness around you, the buoyancy. If you've only woken up to the truth about God and the truth about love just now, you don't have to worry about all that time that you spent believing in God wrong, or loving people the wrong way. Now you know, that's fine. don't feel so guilty about it. And the next thing that you should do is just feel it, because that's the last two lines there. Feel the emotions of tenderness around you, the buoyancy. It's fine. Now that you know, you don't need to do something to repent for it, for the wrongdoings or being wrong in the beginning. You don't have to do something to make up for it. It's fine. Now you know. The next step is to just let the feelings wash all over you. Just rest your faith on the ocean, rest your love on the ocean. Because that's the best way to deal with faith and love. You just let yourself feel it and believe that it exists because you feel it. Yeah. All right, so that is Rumi's buoyancy. All right, so make sure you go to the next few videos to know what you're supposed to do with this lesson, and also to get to the last text from Rumi, which is Music Master.